Welcome back everyone, Blade here, and welcome to another video of Raid Shadow Legends. And inside today's video, guys, we're going to be going ahead and doing a Assassin's Creed whole just video showcase because this is the huge talk of the town, seeing that all the information recently got released. We're a little bit late, but of course we're going to be covering as much as possible. Now, if you guys do like videos like these, be sure to sit back, relax, and enjoy. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and we're going to, of course, tune in to more. And if you want to, of course, join me on my journey of Raid Shadow Legends, seeing I just recently began as well, be sure to click that link down below. You'll be able to get pretty much a bunch of goodies, being about like $200 worth of stuff on your account once you do start. Of course, it does come down gradually when you're always grinding at different level markers. You'll end up getting it, but it's going to be a lot of goodies. And of course, using the same code as well, you'll be able to get Tholen Foulbeard down below. So I do suggest you guys to go ahead and use another account or either go ahead and start the journey as well. But go ahead and get into the video. So for this here, we have a lot of news to cover, and that is going to be this on my screen here, seeing that Ezio is going to be joining the fray. Now, this is quite literally an interesting thing, not only just in general for the game, but huge for me because I used to like Assassin's Creed a lot often, especially in my younger days. Now, I am still quite young to many people here, seeing I'm only 25. But still, this was a huge talk of the town. Everyone on the bus was talking about Assassin's Creed, and it was very big for the Xbox fans back then. So seeing that this is coming down to, of course, a Raid, here is a lot of huge things that we got to go over. Now, this is essentially going to be starting on January 8th, going all the way to April 8th of 2026 here, which is going to be very, very interesting. But we have our final deactivation date going at May 7th. So it does give us a long period of time to actually get this character here. The cool part about it is just to get them, you don't have to do anything crazy. Just to get the first phase of them and all those goodies, you only have to log in for 14 days. Essentially, you get them at the 7-day mark, but you get, of course, a lot better stuff once you get past the 14-day mark, leading to phase 2. Phase 2 is obviously going to give you some more godly souls for the man, in which is going to allow you to make him a perfect soul 2, if I'm correct here. And this will give you a ton of different bonuses for this character as well. So really cool that we're finally getting something like this that's going to be happening. It's just like the last collaboration that we had, which was, of course, Alien and Predator, or the Xenomorph here, which was also cool to see. We also are getting themed items such as his avatar, which is going to be awesome to see as well. But this was just a small thing that came with it. Alongside that came with this whole deal, we of course got some more talk about his kit, which we'll look at the very end. But we got some more talk as well based on a new event dungeon. Now, the new event dungeon is going to be, of course, Assassin's Creed based as well. And it's going to have a non-IP champion here that's just someone a little bit new to it. Now, apparently, this is just going to be a dungeon as well as a champion that has nothing really to do with the game themselves, for what I do know. But obviously, it will be something new that a lot of us are going to want to do. It's going to have 30 different normal stages that are going to be ramping up in difficulty as we slowly do progress here. And once we clear all 30, of course, there's going to be more challenge stages. I'm going to be trying my hardest to get through a lot of these, seeing that I am new. I highly doubt I'll be able to get through majority of them, but I'll be trying my best to do them as well. But it goes up to 31 to 35, which are obviously way harder, but they don't drop standard loot. In fact, it's only a one-time completion, meaning you can get a lot better stuff. Alongside of this here, we are going to have a new gear set coming on in here with some new accessories. This is going to be for equipping 1 through 9 pieces here, about 25% of HP percentage, 80 plus res, 10% on speed as well, which is going to be able to have a immutatable stack up to 3, which is always cool. Always interesting. We got some new event relics, which you guys saw in the thumbnail. Not going to go over these too much. As you can see them, if you want to, go to the Hell Hades site as well here, where we have the Diabolical Dice, the Tower Helm, as well relic here for our mythicals, legendaries, epics, and rares, looking pretty darn good. Then of course we see some of the boss and what they can end up doing. If you really want to get a very good look into this here, be sure to check it out on as well. We're going to briefly look over it because I had to here as well. But he ends up having a decent bit of things. He has a 70% chance to block active skills with a debuff. He's able to steal the turn meter as well, which is going to be very, very annoying to deal with. He removes all buffs from all enemies. He has a 75% chance up to a 100% chance to ensnare on debuffs, which is going to be quite annoying to deal with. On one of his moves as well, he's able to place a 50% increased accuracy buff for 2 whole turns, which is always cool, but not cool for us, seeing that we have to battle the dude. And then your Eminence, he's able to make it so allies receive 25% less damage from enemies under block damage, unkillable, veil, perfect veil, and or stone skin. So pretty darn cool character, to be honest. Nothing to really do with Assassin's Creed, but still itself is pretty darn cool to see, to say the least. So going to be an interesting support champion that I think we will be able to get, but of course this is going to be the boss that we have to face first as well before we can end up getting it, which is always going to be a cool thing. As they say that here, it's going to be strong in arena as well as a high PvE potential, so it might be worth for you guys to go ahead and get this character. But going back over to Ezio here, we need to check him out. As we can see, we have a whole 3D look of his model, which looks freaking great. And he is going to be a legendary attack champion for the Sacred Order. From what I've heard, a lot of people are kind of iffy on where he's standing, but I think it's still not too bad here. His kit is really meant for PvP, but he does have a little bit of utility to have for the PvE content. He's going to be specializing inside of poison and bomb mechanics, which also are going to be reliable, seeing that he will have a veil or perfect veil if he is tied up with certain characters, which is always going to be great. Now we can check also what he ends up doing down here as well, which we're going to go ahead and check that out because it's going to be an interesting character to say the least. But he has Eagle Dive, which attacks one enemy and has a 75% chance to, of course, do a 60% defense decrease debuff for 2 whole turns. Now, this cannot be resisted based on a champion if they are under the Veil or Perfect Veil buff, which is always great. Obviously, it does level up. At 2, you get 10% damage increase. 3, you get a 10% damage increase. And then at level 5, you're getting a 20% buff and debuff chance, which is always great. Then we have Da Vinci's Design here on his other move here, which attacks all enemies, and this is an AoE move. It has a 75% chance of placing 2 5% poison debuffs and 25% poison sensitivity debuff on all enemies for 2 whole turns. These debuffs cannot be resisted, and if the champion is under a Veil or Perfect Veil buff, they will instantly activate all poison debuffs on the enemy under 4 or more debuffs, which is cool. Now, I think that's going to take for like a lot of burst damage, which is going to be interesting to see how that does go. Now, if any enemies are under Stone Skin buff, it has a 75% chance of placing 2 bomb debuffs, which once they detonate after 2 whole turns. Now, these debuffs cannot be resisted as long as they are under a Veil or Perfect Veil buff for the champion. And if all enemies are under the Stone Skin debuff or buff itself, the decrease will now be decreased on your bombs, debuff detonation countdown by 1 turn. So as you can see, you're leveling up, you get your damage increase. At level 6, you actually get a cooldown decrease. And then, of course, level 4 and 5, you get a buff and debuff chance increase, which is going to be interesting. Then we have a couple other things being some passives and his hidden gun being his last move here. He attacks one enemy before attacking, stealing all the buffs from the target. And this cannot be resisted as long as, of course, Veil or Perfect buff or Perfect Veil is on. This will ignore 35% of a target's defense, as well as shield and strengthen buffs. So that's always cool. We get a cooldown decrease at level 4, while also getting 20% damage increase, which is great. Then we have the 2 passives being Everything is Permitted and Full Synchronization. Everything Permitted here, whenever an enemy's HP drops below 25% after they receive damage by an assassin, this will receive additional bonus damage proportional to the champion's attack. So meaning you're just going to get way more damage off of the champion's attack off of that. And it will ignore 100% of the target's defense, though it cannot be a critical hit. So keep that in mind. Then Full Synchronization here, whenever you place Perfect Veil buff on this champion for 2 whole turns, which will be at the start of the round. Whenever he is about to receive damage that will exceed 50% of the max HP, he will have a 35% chance of decreasing the damage received to 0, which is actually very interesting to see as well, which I won't even lie. I'm excited to see how that really does work out. Now, whenever this champion is attacked, he also has a 35% chance of counterattacking, making him kind of annoying to deal with. Of course, with his aura being the other passive that he does have, having him as the front leader slot, he is increasing all allies' speed in battle by 19%, which is great. Now, I think this character is going to be interesting to see exactly how they do work inside of the game here. I'm hoping they're insanely good, especially seeing it's Assassin's Creed. Like, you can't go wrong already with the man being in the game, but this is probably going to be the best time for most people to start. Sure, as a new player, it's going to be a little bit harder to get them up of course, because it's a legendary. So getting the legendary books is a little bit harder. But this is definitely a character that's very strong with a ton of events that are going to be tied to it. I think a lot of you guys should really want to go ahead and start for as well. But without further ado, you guys, hopefully you did enjoy this video. If you did, please do slap that like button, share it as well. And be sure to use my link down below if you are starting a account. It will give you about $200 worth of stuff if you are going ahead and progressing your account throughout the game here. And if you go ahead and use my link as well, you'll be able to get Tholen Foulbeard, which is this lovely character in the front that I'm using, who can be very, very helpful on your journey through Raid. But till then, everybody, thank you for watching and peace on out.